Oh, she was treated so badly by the IDF. She was given a coat. Oh my god, she's going to get kidnapped, guys.
I wasn't able to say goodbye.
Oh, she was unable to say goodbye to her propaganda friends. Oh. Oh my god. Oh, right, because innocent people that have nothing to hide, why would they throw the phones out the window? Why would they do it? Hi guys, this is Sahar TV, and in today's video we'll watch Greta Thunberg and her crew, her sailing crew, getting arrested by Israel. This is her first comment after getting deported from Israel after she tried entering Gaza illegally. Let's watch.
On international waters, we were illegally attacked and kidnapped by Israel and taken against our will to Israel, where we were detained. And then some of us deported, some are still there. There are very big uncertainties because it was quite chaotic and uncertain. So I don't really know what's going on. I haven't had a phone for many days, and
What were the conditions for you over the last few hours?
They were absolutely nothing compared to what people are going through in Palestine, especially Gaza right now.
Oh yeah, of course you would say that. She was offered a coat by the IDF, and she wore that coat because it was quite cold. The IDF treated her with respect, just like the Gazans are treated with respect by the IDF. Nice propaganda. Let's continue watching.
And this is yet another international a violation of international right, adding to the list of countless of such, especially towards Palestinians, that Israel are committing by blocking and preventing humanitarian aid from entering Gaza. That is illegal.
How did the Israelis treat you? We saw them giving out sandwiches on their social media. How did they?
Yeah, they probably have posted lots of PR stunt videos. As I said, I have not seen anything, but.
And she probably had that sandwich like a queen. She had that sandwich. She enjoyed it, for sure.
They did an illegal act by kidnapping us on international waters and against our will, bringing...
So she likes saying illegal, legal, international law. So how about we investigate exactly her allegations? This is the San Remo Manual on International Law applicable to armed conflicts at sea. Okay? Now let's go to section 67. Because that's a pretty good section. 67. Merchant vessels flying the flag of a neutral state may not be attacked unless they are believed on reasonable grounds to be carrying contraband or breaching a blockade, and after prior warning, they intentionally and clearly refuse to stop. If they would have breached the blockade, they would have broken international law. So Greta will keep saying that international law is broken, yet she is the one breaking international law by trying to breach a blockade caused by a war that her friends at Hamas started.
Bringing us to Israel, keeping us in the bottom of the boat, not letting us getting out and so on. But that is not the real story here. The real story is that there is a genocide going on in Gaza and a systematic starvation.
This is not the story because I was treated with respect. So let me just go back to the Hamas talking points and keep brainwashing you, okay? Okay.
Following the siege and blockade now, which is leading to food, medicine, water that are desperately needed to get into Gaza, is prevented from doing so. But of course there are many attempts like this mission, both by sea and land, to break that siege and open up a humanitarian corridor.
We don't need your humanitarian corridor, Greta. Oh, she looks crazy in this exact frame, guys. She looks possessed. Wow, I don't know if it's intentional. Never mind. What I'm saying is we don't need your help, Greta. Yeah? The IDF is providing enough aid to the Gazans in Gaza. More than 2 million tons of aid were entered into the Gaza Strip by the IDF, facilitated by the IDF and the GHF. So enough with your propaganda BS.
You said you had no contact at all with any of your other colleagues from the boat when you were detained? Is that what you said?
No, that's not what I said. I was just mainly speaking. I don't really know what's going on because
I don't know what's going on with the others.
Are you worried about...
I wasn't able to say goodbye.
Oh, she was unable to say goodbye to her propaganda friends. Oh. Oh my God. Should have thought about that before trying to breach a blockade because of a war situation. Greta, Okay. All right.
Are you worried about the others, that they might be detained for
Yeah, I'm very worried about them. We heard many different messages pointing towards that they would not make it easy. And there were troubles with being able to see lawyers. So I'm very much calling for their immediate release and calling for everyone who can to mobilize to their governments and other ways to demand their immediate release. And of course to demand not only humanitarian aid being let into Gaza, but also a ceasefire, but most importantly an end to the occupation and an end to the systemic oppression and violence that Palestinians are facing on an everyday basis.
If you haven't watched my previous video exposing the summit flotilla being funded by Hamas and the PCPA, please check out the link down below. But you have to remember one thing. Greta is told what to say. She has to touch on the Palestinians. She has to touch on the suffering. She has to touch on the genocide. She has to. So it doesn't matter how she was arrested, because from what I've seen, she was arrested with respect. She was breaching a blockade. Legally, it's okay to arrest the people trying to breach a blockade because they resisted to stop. And to also transfer the aid to the Israeli army so they can facilitate the humanitarian aid transfer. But she is told what to say time and time again, and that's why she keeps going back to the genocide, because she knows she has the crowd and she has to speak to the crowd and saying genocide, occupation, Palestinians. She has to do that.
Basis.
Are you disappointed you didn't manage to break the blockade?
I don't know if disappointed is the right word. This is a continued violation of international law. And
as we read in the previous article, that we just read, the San Remo Convention, it is not a violation to stop you in international waters if you're trying to breach a blockade. Okay? Okay.
War crimes that Israel are systematically committing against Palestinians by not letting aid come in, by starving people and mass slaughtering in every possible way during a live-streamed, full-blown genocide that the world is watching.
Here's the video posted after the arrest of the alleged activist from one of the bigger vessels of the flotilla. Let's see how much aid is on board, shall we?
I'm sure you guys can guess where I am because it's pretty much an empty room. That's right, I'm inside one of the vessels, one of the largest vessels to come in this Yom Kippur flotilla. And while we're processing this boat, there's one thing missing, guys. All this aid that they were supposed to bring into Gaza, which explains one thing to me, I'm sure it explains to you, that when we and multiple other countries offered them to take this aid and bring it to the Gazans, we could facilitate its safe arrival, they flat out rejected it. And now we know why, because it was never about bringing aid to Gazans, but it was all about the headlines and the social media followings.
They knew they were going to get arrested. They knew they were going to get stopped. They knew it was going to create headlines around the world. They knew it. So why take aid in the first place? And again, even if all those ships would have been filled with aid, it would probably be what, 2 trucks? 3 trucks? Hundreds of trucks are going into Gaza every single day. So how would that benefit anybody? Now here's a video posted by the IDF telling the people on board of the flotilla to go to Israel instead of Gaza because they're entering a military blockade, which, as we read before, is a violation of international law. Let's watch.
This is the Israeli Navy. You are approaching a blockaded zone. If you wish to deliver aid to Gaza, you may do so through the established channels. Please change your course toward the port of Ashdod, where the aid will undergo a security inspection.
We are here with the conscience of the world, moving peacefully in a non-violent humanitarian mission to take this aid. You are not allowed by international law to stop us. Therefore, we do not comply with your request.
Because they did not comply with the request, according to the San Remo Convention, they were allowed to be detained and stopped, even in international water, despite warnings. Oh, she was treated so badly by the IDF. She was given a coat. Oh my God, she's going to get kidnapped, guys. And right here we have some footage from the violent arrests by the IDF. What did he just toss out the window? Is that a phone? What does he have to hide? And what does she have to hide? She also has a phone. What is she going to do with that phone?
She's a Bulgarian candidate.
Oh, right. Because innocent people that have nothing to hide, why would they throw the phones out the window? Why would they do it? Wow, they're being so violent with them, guys. Look at this. So aggressive. So my advice to you is this. Every time you watch Greta and her fellow activists, always remember one thing. They're lying about international law to gain your support. They're just trying to add another thing to the list that Israel is accused of. Keep in mind, Greta sailed on a motorized boat, despite the fact she's a climate activist. How phony of you. But of course, if the fame is big enough, because it seems like you're addicted to fame, and if the paycheck is big enough, because it seems like you're getting paid, allegedly, I'm not saying that that's the case, you'd keep spewing BS. And it's pathetic. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. If you'd like to watch more of my stuff, please check out my channel down below. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that notification button so you can be notified every time I upload new content. If you'd like to support me and the channel financially, you can do that using Buy Me Coffee or Patreon down in the links below. Also, we now have a Discord that you can join down in the link below. And now you can become a YouTube member and enjoy specific YouTube perks. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.